Hi students, synthesis of carbon nanotubes, and there are so many methods available to synthesize carbon nanotubes. Here we are going to discuss about how to synthesize carbon nanotubes in arc discharge tube method. The content of the presentation: introduction, working principle, arc properties, arc discharge tube method and its applications. Before we discussed how to synthesize carbon nanotubes by arc discharge tube method, we should know some basic information about carbon nanotubes. That is, what is carbon nanotube? First of all, we should know these things. A carbon nanotube is a tube-shaped material made of carbons having a diameter measuring on the nanometer scale. Carbon nanotubes are formed from essentially the graphite sheet, and the graphite layer appears somewhat like a rolled up continuous unbroken hexagonal mesh, and carbon molecules at the apexes of the hexagons. Their name is derived from their long, hollow structures with the walls formed by one atom thickness sheets of carbon called graphene. Nanotubes are member of the fullerene structural family. See, this is the carbon nanotube structure. Okay, so this is the carbon nanotube structure. And the second one, who discovered the carbon nanotubes? Who founded the carbon nanotubes and when? The first one, in 1952, Rudeskevich and Lukinovich published a paper in the Soviet Journal of Physical Chemistry showing hollow graphite carbon fibers that are 50 nanometers in diameter. The second one, in 1979, John Abrahamson presented evidence of carbon nanotubes at the 14th Biennial Conference of Carbon at Pennsylvania State University. In 1981, a group of Soviet scientists published the results of chemical and structural characterization of carbon nanoparticles produced by a thermocatalytical disproportionation of carbon monoxide. Finally, in 1991, nanotubes discovered in the suite of arc discharge at NEC by Japanese researcher Sumio Ijima. So this is the discovered of the carbon nanotubes. Finally, in 1991, the carbon nanotubes are discovered by the Japanese scientist Sumio Ijima. And how many types of carbon nanotubes available mean? It's classified into two types. The first one is single-valved nanotubes, and second one is multi-valved nanotubes. So what is single-valved nanotubes mean? Its diameter is 1 nanometer and its band gap is 0 to 2 electron volt. A one atom thick layer of graphene into seamless cylinder, and their electrical conductivity can show metallic or semiconducting behavior. See, this is the single valved carbon nanotubes. Its shape is like a cylinder. Okay, its shape is like a cylinder. This is the single valved carbon nanotubes. And the second one is multi-valved carbon nanotubes. The multi-valved carbon nanotubes consist of multiple rolled layer, that is concentric tubes of graphene. The interlayer distance 3.4 Armstrong. To describe the structure of multi-valved nanotube, there are two models. The first one is Russian-Dahl model. The second one is Postman model. See, this is the two types of multi-valved carbon nanotubes, and this is the Postman model. Okay, so this is like the rolled mat. This is like the rolled mat. This is the Postman model. The second one is Russian-Dahl model. The Russian-Dahl model is nothing but the one layers into the another one. The one layers into the another one. It is also in the rolled shape. Okay, so both are the shape is the same, but the structure is different. Okay, see, this is the Russian-Dahl model, right? And what is its general properties of carbon nanotubes? It's having different properties, and here I listed some properties of carbon nanotubes. The first one is we discussed their strength. The carbon nanotubes are the strongest, flexible, and stiffest materials yet discovered in terms of tensile strength and elastic modulus respectively. And second one, and its hardness. So we discussed the hardness. The hardness and bulk modulus of carbon nanotubes are greater than diamond, so which is considered the hardest material. So compared to diamond, the carbon nanotube is having the much hardness, it's a greater hardness. Okay. And third one, electrical property of carbon nanotube. Because of the symmetry and unique electronic structure of graphene, the nanotubes has a very high current carrying capacity. Okay, so it's having the high conducting capacity. And the fourth one, thermal conductivity. All nanotubes are expected to be very good thermal conductors along the tubes. And fifth one, electromagnetic wave absorption. There has been some research on filling multi-valved nanotubes with metals such as ferrous, nickel, cobalt, etc. to increase the absorption of effectiveness of multi-valved nanotubes in the microwave regime. Finally, what is its thermal properties mean? All nanotubes are expected to be very good thermal conductor along the tube, but good insulator laterally to the tube axis. So up to here we discussed some basic information about the carbon nanotubes. That is, what is carbon nanotube and who's discovered it, and what is its types and what is its properties. So this is the basic information of the carbon nanotubes. Now we are going to discuss how to synthesize the carbon nanotubes by arc dissociative method. So this is the introductions of our presentation or our topic. So the first one, a physical method of nanomaterial synthesis, and how the nanomaterials are synthesized in the physical methods. Okay. The second one, properties of inert gas atmosphere. Here in this arc dissociative method, the inert gas atmosphere playing a vital role to synthesize the carbon nanotubes. So we will discuss it later. Okay. And uses arc plasma to vaporize the material. A plasma is achieved by making a gas conduct electricity by providing a potential difference across two electrodes. So while we applied the potential difference between the two electrodes, there are plasma is achieved. Okay, so we will discuss later when we discussing the working principles. So I will explain. Okay, and fourth one, an arc discharge tube is an electrical breakdown of a gas which produces an ongoing plasma discharge. And fifth one, arc discharge is the most convenient method to generate the thermal plasma, which is characterized by the high energy content and the local thermal equilibrium state. So, what is the principle of arc discharge tube method? Based on the vaporization and cooling of electrode material, which is done by thermionic emission of electron from the electrode supporting the arc. So, what is thermionic emission? The thermionic emission is the heat induced flow of charge carries from a surface or over a potential energy barrier. Okay, so this is called a thermionic emission, and this occurs because the thermal energy is given to the charge carriers who overcome the binding potential, also known as work functions of the electrode material. Inert gas pressure, voltage, and current supplied to electrode and electrode materials are the factors which decide the product form. And arc discharge tube description. So, what are the equipments are there in that arc discharge tube? Schematic diagrams. Okay. This apparatus must be connected both to a vacuum line with a diffusion pump and to a helium supply. The electrodes are two graphite rods. Usually it's having high purity. Typically, an anode is a long rod approximately 6 mm diameter, and cathode is a some shorter rod. It's having 9 mm diameter. The efficient cooling of the cathode has been shown to be essential in producing a good quality nanotubes. In the arc discharge method, a DC bias of 20 to 30 volt is applied between two carbon electrodes in a helium atmosphere. Carbon atoms are ejected from the anode and accumulated in the form of nanotubes on the cathode side. Arc discharge tube tends to produce narrower and shorter tubes than those obtained from the laser ablation. And next one, the arc properties. The arc consists of three major parts. The first one, arc column. The second one, cathode region. And third one is anode region. So what is arc column? The arc column has the charge equilibrium, the low electric field and high temperature, so that it plays a vital role in heating the gas. While the cathode and anode regions, where the transaction between metallic gases and conditions occurs, having positive and negative space charges with a high electric field respectively, and also have high temperature gradient. And this is the arc column. Arc column is nothing but in between the, so this is the anode and this is the cathode. So in between the anode and the cathode, okay, so these columns is called a arc column. So in between this column, the helium gas is filled. The helium gas is filled, while the potential difference is applied in between the two graphite rod or two electrodes. The anode is ejected the carbon. Okay, so while the anode is heated, it is ejected the carbon, So while the carbon atoms moves to the arc column, here the helium gas is filled. So it is a cooling gas. So while the high heated carbon atoms moves to the arc column, so here the thermionic emission is occurs. So at the time the plasma is achieved on the cathode side. These plasma to vaporize the material and deposited on the carbon atoms in the cathode side in the form of tubes, carbon tubes. Okay, so it's very simple in between the cathode and anode. So these columns is called a arc column. Okay, and arc discharge tube method for carbon nanotubes. The principle of this technique is to vaporize carbon in the presence of catalyst, that is iron, nickel, cobalt, yttrium, okay, under reduced atmosphere of inert gas. After the triggering of the arc between two electrodes, a plasma is formed consist of the mixture of carbon vapor, the rare gas, that is helium or argon, and the vapor of catalyst. The vaporization is the consequence of the energy transfer from the arc to the anode made up of graphite doped with catalyst. The anode emission rate is more or less important depending on the power of the arc and also on the other experimental condition. See, this is the diagram of arc discharge tube method. So this is only for arc column. Okay, see, this is anode and this is the cathode, that is graphite. It is made up of graphite rod, anode and cathode. So while the potential, see this full part is the arc column. This full part is the arc column. This arc column filled by the helium gas, okay, for the cooling purpose, right? This is anode, this is the cathode, right? So the both are electrodes made up of graphite rod, right? While the potential difference is applied, the anode is ejected the carbon atoms and it is goes to the arc column. The thermionic emission is occurs here, okay, at the time the plasma is achieved on the cathode side. So this plasma is vaporized to the material in the presence of nickel, cobalt and some other iron materials. At the time the carbons are deposited on the cathode side in the form of carbon nanotubes. See, this is the carbon atoms joined together, okay. So this is the carbon nanotubes forming, okay. This is deposited on the cathode side, right? This is plasma, cathode and anode, okay. So we will see the full schematic diagram. This is only for arc column, right? So this is filled by the helium gas, right? So there is having two electrodes, okay. See, this is the another diagram of arc discharge tube apparatus. This is the full schematic diagram. Here we can see the red line mentioned, they represented the, okay, potential difference applied to the two electrodes, anode and cathode, okay. So the bottom side is the anode and top side is the cathode. So while the potential difference is applied, the anode is ejected the carbon and it is goes to the helium arc column side, where the helium gas is making the thermionic emission, and the plasma is achieved on the cathode side. The plasma is vaporized to the materials and the carbon atoms deposited on the cathode, okay, in the form of carbon nanotubes, right? So this is the graphite rod, okay, this is the deposition. See here, this is the deposit of carbon atoms. This is also the graphite rod. This is positive anode, this is negative cathode. There are two pumps are connected. One is a vacuum pump, okay, this is the vacuum pump, this is the inert gas pump connected with the arc column. So this is the full schematic diagram of arc discharge tube method, right? And what is the general applications of arc discharge tube method? This is the general applications of arc discharge tube method. Synthesis of metal nanoparticles and carbon coated metal particles can also be prepared in the arc discharge tube method. And the second one, synthesis of nanowires, example AG nanowires, and we can synthesize a nano metal oxides in the method of arc discharge tube, and we can produce the carbon nanotubes. And simple method of preparing graphene flakes. The filling of carbon nanotubes with metal is done by arc discharge tube method. So we can produce the synthetic metal nanoparticles, carbon coated metal particles, and nanowires, and nano metal oxides, and carbon nanotubes, and preparing graphene flakes, and fill up carbon nanotubes with metal. So these kind of synthesized can be done by the arc discharge tube method, okay. And what is the potential applications of carbon nanotubes, and what is the potential applications or commercial applications of carbon nanotubes? So it's using in different fields for commercial purpose, for medicine and engineering, okay, and sometimes it is also using in agriculture field. Here I listed some applications of carbon nanotubes. The first one is structural designing. So it is using to designing the structural. And second one is electromagnetic field. So it is also using in the electromagnetic field. And third one is electroacoustical field. And fourth one is in the chemical field. And fifth one is the mechanical field. And sixth one is the electrical field, electrical circuits, that is the interconnects, transistors, electronic design, and design automation. And finally it is also used in the medicine field. So this is the some uses of potential applications of carbon nanotubes for the commercial purpose. Thank you.